Joining us, we're starting with breaking news. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office says a father is charged after his 2-month-old child was taken to the hospital.
Deputies believe the child has injuries that are consistent with possible abuse. The Sheriff's Office says the baby went into cardiac arrest at a home in Williamston on Turkey Trot Road yesterday morning. We're told the child remains in critical condition in the hospital. Deputies charged the father, Randon Rolback, with unlawful conduct toward a child. The investigation is ongoing.
A 3-year-old girl is dead after investigators say a tree branch fell on her in Greenville. The coroner says it happened over the weekend at a home on Maplewood Drive. That's off of Pelham Road near Rocky Creek. Investigators say Myra Dore was playing in her yard when she was struck. The child died at Prisma Health Greenville Memorial Hospital. Her death has since been ruled accidental.
Now note that 2 people were injured when 2 jet skis crashed on Lake Hartwell. The South Carolina's Department of Natural Resources reported on social media that this happened yesterday in Anderson County near the shores of Asbury and Highway 24. A woman operating one jet ski was injured. She was taken to a hospital and is expected to recover. The person operating the other jet ski also had minor injuries and is expected to recover.
As the 100 deadliest days of summer wrap up, state officials say traffic deaths are down across South Carolina. 7 News' Julia Keener spoke with law enforcement before they hit the roads to wrap up their Hands Across the Border campaign.
The goal of this campaign is simple: get impaired drivers off the road to save not only their lives, but the lives of everyone around them. Dozens of law enforcement officers from across South Carolina and neighboring states like Georgia and North Carolina are out in full force as summer winds down.
When you go out there tonight, keep in mind that you are saving lives.
State officials say South Carolina has seen 100 fewer traffic deaths this year compared to the same time last year. It's progress, but they say even 1 death is still too many.
You know, it's unfortunate we still got over 500 people that have lost their life. It's unfortunate, but being down over 100 at this time is a huge success, and we contribute that to the job that these men and women are doing out here on the roads.
With Labor Day around the corner, SC Highway Patrol says the final push is on.
We're trying to get impaired drivers off our roadways, because at the end of the day, an impaired driver arrested is a life saved, whether it's theirs or somebody else's, trying to prevent that fatal crash from happening.
Drivers can expect to see more patrol cars and DUI checkpoints across the state. It's a part of Hands Across the Border, a multi-state effort to catch impaired drivers and keep the road safe ahead of the holiday weekend.
We're just trying to remind people to make that right choice. Don't get behind the wheel if you've had any alcohol and or drugs.
We always talk about it takes a community to raise a child. Well, in law enforcement, we're the protectors of the community, so how many law enforcement officers does it take? It takes the entire law enforcement community to come together and, you know, help the people in this state.
Law enforcement says a few extra minutes of planning could mean a lifetime of a difference. In Pickens, Julia Keener, 7 News.
Some cooler weather is on. Update now to some breaking news in Greenville County. 7 News has learned that one of the Greenville County Sheriff's Office deputies who was injured in a SWAT training exercise has returned to work. Some good news there. That accident happened last month and it left 2 deputies injured. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office says one of the deputies continues to recover. The other one is back at work on light duty. Authorities say they were injured when they were hit with a breaching round from a shotgun. They say the incident remains under investigation, but the Sheriff's Office has implemented some new policies and procedures following that incident. For those details, head over to our website, WSPA.com.
Over book bans got pretty heated in Columbia today. It all happened during a presentation by the state's Department of Education.
The argument spread from book bans to the future of South Carolina's public schools. 7 News State House reporter Caroline Yaffa was there in a story you'll only see on 7.
The most intense moments came from a discussion about a policy that allows the state to vote to remove books from all public schools. A state representative gone back and forth with the state superintendent of education, and the chairman of the committee was forced to step in.
Is ensuring that materials that are purchased on taxpayer dime and put in front of children, minor children, on taxpayer time are not sexually explicit.
If we're going to start banning books because of sexual explicit stuff, one of the first books that would be banned would be the Bible.
Sir, that's just
no,
not
I'm just
accurate.
saying. I mean,
that's not accurate.
It's very accurate, ma'am. I mean, you know your education. I know the Bible.
And sir, I'm also a Christian.
You go in the Song of Solomon, it'll make you think that you're reading a pornography magazine.
Out of the entire country, South Carolina has the highest number of books removed from schools.
The books that have been that have been considered and reviewed under that regulation have been looked at under a very objective criteria. And so I would just say in conclusion that we are not banning books in South Carolina.
Don't try to, don't insult my intelligence, ma'am.
Sir, you have just impugned my integrity.
No, I'm just trying to correct you, that's all. No hard feelings.
Superintendent Ellen Weaver also used the meeting to outline other goals of her department. She highlighted positive academic trends, including improvements in 4th grade math and strong performance in reading and 8th grade math.
That was not the story of the vast majority of states across the country who saw significant slides. And there's probably many reasons, largely due to the pandemic and school closures, that those slides have been experienced across the country.
Weaver says around 60% of South Carolina students are considered impoverished, and she says it's important to keep working to support them.
I find great encouragement and hope in the fact that our economically disadvantaged students maintained or improved performance in 4th and 8th grade assessments, which again defies the national trends.
Weaver says there will be more statistics coming from SCDE soon. Among the many, they say they plan to publish their annual state budget and release report card statistics in the coming months. In Columbia, Caroline Yaffa, 7 News.
Long legal battle is back in court today. Community members are fighting to ensure the graves of those who were once enslaved are protected before future developers move forward with plans to rebuild a subdivision. 7 News' Ariana Meadows explains.
Community members who hired archaeologists say they discovered possible graves of enslaved people on the former Rivoli plantation on Fance Grove Circle off Highway 187. Stanley Hicks, who lives near the site, wants to make sure enslaved graves aren't disturbed if development goes forward. Hicks says a local church has offered to maintain the grave sites.
My concern is that the developer, once it's through the court process, they will come back to Anderson County and say, we can improve our cost if you allow us to use South Carolina law to move these enslaved graves somewhere else so that we can build a house on where Graveyard Hill is now, and we can build lots, house lots onto it. And we can run a road through where the enslaved grave was.
In June, a judge dismissed the case. Hicks was back in court today over an appeal he filed.
We were not allowed to present our other points about why we should be able to appeal the case to the appellate court without threat of a bond.
Attorneys for the developers requested a $7.5 million bond because they can't sell the land while the legal battle continues. But the judge denied it. Now both sides must agree on a bond amount before the judge makes a decision about it.
With us having to post a bond, if we cannot afford it, we will have to dismiss our case. And they can immediately start they'll sell the property to a developer, and the developer will come in and start developing. Now, whether or not they will request that the graves be moved or not, that's for the future to tell.
In Anderson County, Ariana Meadows, 7 News.
And Ariana reached out to Spano Associates Asheville LLC. They declined the request for an interview.